Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. If you're new here, I'm Andrea Patrick, the BU Boss, and I help you find the intersection between your personal life and your business life so that you have a quality of life. Now today, as the title of this video says, we are talking about how to find your niche the personal branding way. Listen, I'm gonna boil this down for you as simple as I possibly can. Listen up, listen closely. Finding your niche is a simple process. The basic principle of finding your niche is extremely simple. It's the equivalent of finding friends, okay? And gravitating to those people that you find the most in common with. It really is that simple, but how you get there could be a little difficult, and that's what I'm going to explain. Basically, when you're finding your niche, the thing that you have to do the most is know what it is you like, what it is you want, right? So that's the first thing you need to do. Then you want to identify people who kind of like the same thing or are going through the same struggle or have something in common with you. And then after you figure that out, the next thing you need to do is build a relationship with them, like talk to them, find out more about them. And then lastly, you're going to reward loyalty with reciprocity, right? A friend does something for you, you stick around in hard times, they stick around in hard times. That's basically what happens when you build friendships, right? Now that I've given you that information, I want you to stay around to the end, because in addition to the tips that I'm going to give to you about how to find your niche or how to define your niche the personal branding way, on the back end of this, I'm going to give you 2 bonus things that you can do to further define your niche, dig a little bit deeper, and get a little bit more structure around who it is you want to serve. So if that sounds like what you're looking for, keep watching. Before we go there, I was in my closet a little while ago, and I remembered that I was looking for things to wear for homecoming. If you know anything about me, you know that I went to North Carolina A&T State University, and I am a huge Aggie, and we go to homecoming. We went last year. If you want to, you can check out the video here. We had such a good time at homecoming. So anyway, I was in my closet thinking about like what I was going to wear, because I had a conversation about it earlier today, and I was reminded of a conversation I had with a friend in Greensboro, and we were sitting right in front of my alma mater, and I thought, wow, that is so on trend with what it is I'm talking about today. So take a look at this video real quick. Her name is Chisa Penix Brown. She's an amazing marketer. She is in Greensboro, North Carolina. Hey Chisa girl, if you're watching this video, but take a look at this video. I did it years and years ago, but even then she was on point with her answer to this question.
What are some of the challenges that you think small businesses have this day and age?
Well, not to point out the marketing part, but the biggest thing is marketing. People think that they can just start a business and people are automatically going to come.
Right.
They
build
open
it
the doors,
and they will come, and that doesn't work.
Like last night I taught a class that was on Facebook, right? So the lady just creates her first Facebook for her personal, and then she creates the business one. And she's like, should I put a post out? Who's gonna see it? And I'm like, nobody even knows you're there yet, right? So don't think that just because you put it out there that everybody's gonna see it. Like, you literally have to build your brand.
Absolutely.
And be out there and be consistent. So I think that's the biggest thing, is thinking that they don't have to spend money on marketing.
Okay. Wasn't that cool? Like, small business challenges, one of her main ones that she's seen, is so true today. Marketing is a big one. So it's likely a big one because we really don't know who it is we're talking to or why we're talking to them and what it is they need. So that's why we're here to define our niche. So let's get down into it. The very first thing I want you to do when you're defining your niche to make it easy on yourself is to construct your own personal framework. I know you've heard me talk about this over and over again. You're probably just sick of it, but it's the truth. You know what it is you like, all the stuff, and set your boundaries. It's going to be so much easier for you to get business done, to do it the right way, to be comfortable doing it, and to attract those people that you want to attract, because you will be consistent. They will find that credible. All the things. So you want to construct your own personal framework. Now, I jotted down some things because I want to be able to really help you understand how it relates to defining your niche. And the very first thing is that you understand yourself and what it is you want. That's very important because, again, defining your niche is about finding people who have something in common with you, whether it's a problem that you solved yourself for yourself or it's a problem you solve for someone else and they need that same problem solved. So you want to identify what you can relate to with your audience, but first you need to know who you are, right? The next thing is it makes it more easy for you to connect your passion to your purpose. This is so important in setting boundaries, managing expectations, really just defining defining kind of how you need to operate best, because your passion is that thing that you can do with your eyes closed, your hands tied behind your back, out of a deep sleep, and you do them for free. So because of that, it's like second nature to you. But now you need to put structure around that so people don't take advantage. So that's another reason why you should set up your personal framework. Again, it's going to help you create those systems and processes, or the infrastructure that you're going to need when this mad rush of customers that you're about to bring in and attract comes flooding in. You want there to be systems and processes so that you can handle the load. Now, the next thing that you need to do if you're going to define your niche the personal branding way is to outline your epiphany journey. Now, we've talked about your epiphany moment. This is when you had your aha moment, the light bulb went off, and what it is you wanted to do for your business, how you wanted to show up for your customer, because you finally figured something out on your own and you're like, wow, I've got to figure out how to kind of make this work in my life. You solved a problem for yourself. That was the journey. Now, when you go back and outline that journey, especially if that is what you want to help other people do, if that's the solution you want to provide, you want to outline that journey so that you will know at what stage your customer base is in when you meet them, so you can beat them there and not be salesy or come across salesy. You can actually meet them where they are on that outline that you put together, and you'll be able to support them in that moment and not skip 10 steps ahead and then come across as someone who's just trying to sell them a product or a service. So you definitely want to make sure that you are engaging in your own epiphany journey, because this is how you're going to identify the potential challenges that your customer is having. As I said, if you've already gone through it and you solved it for yourself in your own epiphany journey, now you know exactly what your customer is going through, and you'll be able to identify it quickly and the potential you have to help them solve their problem. Next is going to help you meet them where they are. Like I said before, where are they on their own journey and what answers they might be looking for. That's really big. If you already have the answers, you know at what point in your own journey you were able to get those answers, how you were feeling at that moment. That's going to be so valuable in relating to your audience. So again, you should outline your epiphany journey. It's also going to help you identify how you actually want to show up for your audience within your business, right? So now that you know what you like, what you need, okay, and you've identified the problem or the challenge that you want to solve, you can go now in search of the people who need this problem solved for themselves, okay? And then you can decide, how do I want to show up for them? Like, do I want to have a course for them? Do I want to do coaching for them? Do I want to have a product that I can sell that'll help them solve their problem? So how do you want to show up? This is all going to help. This epiphany journey that you outline is going to help you to answer these questions. Now, the next thing you want to do, number 3, is you want to give your ideal customer an identity. Okay, so this is asking simple questions like, okay, who are they really? Like, what age do I want to serve? What area, what location do I want to serve? Like, what types of jobs do they have? How much money are they making? Do they have the income to support me in what I'm trying to, the service or the product that I'm trying to give them? Can they afford it? Or it'll help you to decide how you want to price it. It also helps you answer questions like, where do they go for their information, right? So if you are asking yourself these questions, you're really finding out who they are. Who are they really? Where are they going to get their information? Who are the experts they're already looking to? Where are these experts? What types of conversations are they holding? What are they asking? Like maybe a Facebook group, maybe inside of a live, maybe you go to someone else's webinar. How are they asking these questions? What is it that they really want to know, right? And then you want to really understand, where are they going to get this information? Now, the next question you want to ask yourself is, what are their true needs, right? So yes, we have our outlining need, like I need to grow my Instagram following, or I need to get more people to my website. But what are they really saying? Or like they might be like, I just want to stop, whatever. I don't know what you serve, what your product or service is, but there's always like this, like an umbrella need, right? But then there's the real root of the problem. So they need you to help them fight off a dragon. Like they want to get this thumb off their back. They want some help, like really accomplishing something. Or could it be that they need somebody to help them overcome a fear? You got to kind of show them that there's nothing to be afraid of in your process, and they can use that to get where they want to go. Could it be that they need just to be justified in their own beliefs? You just need to come through and co-sign on what it is they're saying. Like, yeah, you're absolutely right. And this is why you're right. Let me show you. What is their underlying need? There's always an emotional component to this. It's not just getting from A to B. It's why aren't you getting from A to B? What do you need to get from A to B? Do you need me to hold your hand? Do you need me to kind of slay a dragon for you? Do you need me to be a fierce competitor for you or a fierce advocate for you? What do you really, really need? And that's how you show up for them. Before I give you the last tip that I have before we get to these bonus tips, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed the content so far, and hit that like button on the video as well. That lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. And then go ahead and click the notification bell so as new videos come up, you don't miss them. Now, there are tons of videos on my playlist, so I mean, you've got a ton to look at even before I put out another video. But if you're liking this one so far, please go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, and click the notification bell. All right, let's move on to the fourth tip that's gonna help you define your niche, personal branding way, and that is to engage with your ideal audience in their habitat. Where are they? Let's get inside these groups, actually start answering questions. Let's start taking polls. Let's start adding value so that they see us, that they see we are there and we have quality information that they should be listening to. Now, if you've done your due diligence in the first three, you already know that you're in a group of people that you like and that like similar things as you, or having the similar issues that you had, or they have similar issues to the issues that you've solved for others in the past. You already know that that matches up. You already know sort of the types of businesses they have, where they are. You can look at their feed and see how successful they are in their business, or you can ask those types of questions within that group to get that type of information. So you've done your due diligence and you know that this is the pond that your ideal audience is swimming in. So now it's just a matter of engaging with them and making whatever it is you have very attractive to them based on the information you've already researched about them. So I promised you 2 extra tips on how you can further kind of whittle down your niche. Let me just say this about whittling down your niche. Do you have to define your niche? Everybody else is going to tell you yes, but I'm here to tell you no. Nope. You don't have to define your niche. You do not have to. You can sell to everybody if that's what you want to do. You can put your little shingle out and you can serve everybody that comes. Okay. Now, because I came to the realization a long time ago that as long as I was an adult and could deal with the consequences of my actions, I could do whatever I wanted to do. And that's the category that what I just said falls into. But the truth of the matter is, if you try to pick up every dollar that someone puts down, there are going to be a lot of times that you have to give some of that money back. Think about this. Walmart sells everything. You can go in there and you can get whatever you need. They have a slew of customers from all walks of life. They aren't really trying to define anybody in particular way down. They're just looking for the people who are looking for the good deal, right? They don't always have the same people. You could be that. You could be Walmart. You could be the Walmart of your industry, and people could just come jot in and out to get those small things that they might need. But there's no real commitment to you. They'll go to Target sometimes. They'll go to Kroger sometimes. They'll go to Family Dollar or Dollar Tree sometimes to get the things. There's no real commitment. There's no loyalty. Just whoever's got the lowest price, okay? Or you can whittle yourself down to be more like a Louis Vuitton or a Coach or a Nike, and people know the difference. Those names have recognition. We're not talking about name recognition. We're talking about quality. We're talking about those brands have a particular product or service that is unique. They are trying to serve like luxury people who with Louis Vuitton, it's a luxury brand and everyone knows them for their luggage. They've been around for a long time. They're not trying to sell a lot of different things like a Walmart. They don't have toothpaste and things like that. And even if they do have those small products, they're not pushing them. That's not what they're known for, and they stick to what they're known for. And I would much rather be like that. I would much rather be a specific brand that people came to me for a specific reason, and that I consistently gave that information that was quality and they wanted to keep coming back to get it. So yeah, do you have to define a niche? No, you don't. You can be a Walmart, or you can say very clearly, plant your flag and say, no, this is who I am and this is who I serve. And the people who really need that will find you. They will find what you have credible. And if you are consistent with it, they will come back over and over again. And they will tell their friends, you are the person to go to for X, Y, and Z. All right, so that is what I wanted to say about that. Now let's get into these 2 tips, these extra tips. The first one is a $0 to hero. You want to further define your niche outside of what we talked about earlier. Think about your epiphany journey and where you started. If you had an issue and you solved that issue for yourself and you came out on the other side successful, you solved the problem for yourself, that journey is a zero to hero journey. So if you want to further define your niche, you can look at where are your audience, where are they starting on your journey? And you can say, I want to take people from this point in their journey that's similar to mine to this point in their journey, because I know for a fact that once they get to the other side, the benefit of that is X. So the zero to hero would say, I want to take my customers from point A to point B so that they have C results, okay? So that's your zero to hero. So if you want to further define what we just talked about earlier, then that's one way that you can do it. Another way that you can define your niche and whittle it down a little bit more is, like I said earlier, and that is to create a customer avatar. But you want to dig deep and you want to make sure that this avatar has a name, first of all, and then you want to make sure that it has characteristics of a person, because you want to take the entire group that you want to serve and whittle it down to one person representative, and that is your avatar. And this one person is going to have a name. He or she is going to have a job. He or she is going to have hobbies. She is going to have likes and dislikes, her own personal framework you are going to give her or him. And that way, when you go to make decisions about the type of content you want to share, how you want to share that content, where you want to show up with that content, you can measure it against your avatar and see if that avatar would like it, if they would be attracted to it, if they would be put off by it, and if they would share it, because you've done your due diligence. And that will further help you define your niche. Just whittle it down to one representative, and you give that representative a personality, characteristics, a name, and all the things associated with one person. And that's who you measure everything by. All right, I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Please leave a comment below and tell me what you thought of it. Also, subscribe and click the notification bell and the thumbs up if you really enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, or if you want me to do a video on something else in the personal branding realm, please leave a message down below. That can include anything, because again, we're finding the intersection between your personal life and your business life. Now, I have an amazing audio file called My 8-Step Strategy to Fortify Your Business and Eliminate the Competition. So if you are struggling in your business and you want to provide structure, a good foundation, this audio is so good. And you're going to hear a little bit more about my story. My own epiphany moment and my own epiphany journey. And then I'm going to give you the 8 steps. And I'm giving you my story in the beginning because hopefully it will help you to use those 8 steps that I'm sharing with you to kind of build on your own business and fortify it for yourself and eliminate your own competition. So I really hope you enjoyed this week's video. I look forward to seeing you again next week. And I hope you liked that video, that answer to the question that Chisa gave me. If you did, give her a shout out, tell her hello, and I'll make sure she gets the information. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's video. Bye.